Hashtag American Legends Unplugged, the life and times of Calvin Coolidge. Welcome to American Legends Unplugged, the podcast where we dive deep into the lives of the fascinating figures who have shaped our nation. I'm your host, Ben Lynch, and today we're going to uncover the intriguing, often underappreciated life of Calvin Coolidge, the 30th President of the United States. So, grab your headphones, settle in, and let's explore the story of Silent Cal. Picture this. It's the 4th of July, 1872, in the quiet village of Plymouth Notch, Vermont. Amidst the patriotic celebrations, a baby boy named John Calvin Coolidge is born. Little did anyone know, this baby would grow up to be the President of the United States. Coolidge holds the unique distinction of being the only U.S. president born on Independence Day, a fact that seems almost poetic. Calvin Coolidge was born into a modest family. His father, John Coolidge, was a man of many trades, storekeeper, farmer, and public servant, while his mother, Victoria, was a gentle soul who tragically passed away when Calvin was just 12 years old. This early loss had a profound impact on young Calvin, shaping his stoic and resilient character. As a child, Coolidge was known for his quiet demeanor and strong work ethic. These traits followed him throughout his life. After completing his early education in rural Vermont, Coolidge set off for Amherst College in Massachusetts. At Amherst, he developed an interest in law and public speaking, though he was far from being the most charismatic student. In fact, his reserved nature earned him the nickname Silent Cal. But don't let that fool you. What Coolidge lacked in flair, he made up for in determination and diligence. After graduating from Amherst, Coolidge embarked on a legal career, studying law the old-fashioned way, by clerking at a law firm. In 1897, he was admitted to the bar and opened his own practice in Northampton, Massachusetts. But the allure of public service was strong, and Coolidge soon found himself drawn into politics. Coolidge's political career began at the local level, where he served on the city council, as city solicitor, and eventually as mayor of Northampton. His reputation for honesty, efficiency, and fiscal conservatism grew, and in 1911, he was elected to the Massachusetts State Senate. Here, Coolidge's star continued to rise. He became known for his steadfast adherence to principle and his ability to navigate the often turbulent waters of state politics. In 1918, Coolidge's political journey reached a significant milestone when he was elected governor of Massachusetts. It was during his tenure as governor that Coolidge faced one of the defining moments of his career, the Boston police strike of 1919. When the police force went on strike, leaving the city vulnerable to crime and chaos, Coolidge took a firm stand. He famously declared, "There is no right to strike against the public safety by anybody, anywhere, anytime." His decisive action and strong leadership during the crisis won him national acclaim and set the stage for his ascent to the national stage. In 1920, Coolidge was chosen as the running mate for Republican presidential candidate Warren G. Harding. The Harding-Coolidge ticket won in a landslide, and Coolidge became Vice President of the United States. While the vice presidency is often seen as a largely ceremonial role, Coolidge took his duties seriously, quietly observing and learning the intricacies of federal governance. Then, in the early hours of August 3, 1923, history took a dramatic turn. President Harding suddenly passed away while on a speaking tour in California. Coolidge was at his family home in Vermont when he received the news. In a scene straight out of a storybook, Coolidge was sworn in as president by his father, a notary public, in the middle of the night by the light of a kerosene lamp. Talk about a unique inauguration. As president, Coolidge brought his characteristic calm and steady hand to the White House. His philosophy of limited government and fiscal restraint was a stark contrast to the more progressive policies of his predecessors. Coolidge believed that the chief business of the American people is business, and his administration worked to reduce taxes, cut government spending, and promote economic growth. Under Coolidge's watch, the United States experienced a period of significant economic prosperity known as the Roaring Twenties. The stock market soared, consumer culture boomed, and technological innovations like the automobile and radio transformed everyday life. Yet, despite the prosperity, Coolidge remained cautious. He warned against the excesses of speculation and urged Americans to live within their means. Coolidge's personal life also reflected his conservative values. He and his wife, Grace Coolidge, were a picture of domestic harmony. Grace, with her warm personality and genuine charm, complemented Calvin's reserved nature perfectly. The Coolidges were known for their love of animals, particularly their pet raccoon, Rebecca, who became a minor celebrity in her own right. One of the most poignant moments of Coolidge's presidency came in 1924, when his younger son, Calvin Jr., died from a blood infection caused by a blister he got while playing tennis on the White House grounds. The tragedy deeply affected Coolidge, and he later wrote, "When he went, the power and glory of the presidency went with him." Despite his personal grief, Coolidge continued to fulfill his presidential duties with stoic resolve. In 1924, Coolidge was elected to a full term in a landslide victory. His administration continued to focus on economic stability and government efficiency. Coolidge's understated yet effective leadership style earned him the respect of many, though he was often criticized for not doing more to address social issues and the growing disparity between the rich and the poor. As the 1928 election approached, Coolidge decided not to run for another term. In his typical succinct manner, he announced his decision with a simple statement: "I do not choose to run for president in 1928. He retired to Northampton, Massachusetts, where he lived a quiet life, writing his autobiography and reflecting on his years in public service. Coolidge passed away on January 5, 1933, at the age of 60. His legacy, often overshadowed by more flamboyant leaders, is one of integrity, restraint, and a deep commitment to the principles of limited government and personal responsibility. So, what can we learn from the life of Calvin Coolidge? In a world that often celebrates the loudest and most ostentatious, Coolidge reminds us of the power of quiet strength and steadfast determination. He believed in the value of hard work, honesty, and living within one's means, principles that are as relevant today as they were in his time. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the life of Calvin Coolidge. I hope you enjoyed this episode of American Legends Unplugged. Stay tuned for more captivating stories of the people who have shaped our great nation. Until next time, this is Ben Lynch, signing off.